Masters singles cricket matchup here. Lance Trout versus Miah Berger. It's going to be a good one, Jake.
Yeah, I know that Miah guy a little bit. We tend to play together on Wednesdays sometimes. I know Lance a little bit too. Lance has a pretty interesting throw. It's just a really simple flick of the wrist, but man, that dart flies and it flies straight.
Yeah, Lance does have a little flick of a throw. He does not fully extend his arm, but he's having a fantastic year. His averages are up, his wins are up. Good at steel, good at soft tip. Made it into Masters, and he's here to stay for sure.
Miah, a little bit of an old standout, been around the game a long time. I'm not sure what those three darts were. I don't think he knows what they were either, but I wouldn't expect for it to stay this way. Don Spear hopping into the booth for this one, replacing Derek Howard. I'm Jake Rieger. We are at the Motor City Entertainment Regional Dart Tournament for this Masters match between Lance and Miah. What do you think, Don? Who's your horse in this race?
Well, Lance is kind of a newer player to this Master circuit, so he's going to have his hands full. Miah has been coming through a slump, but lately has been picking it back up. So I'd love to see Lance win. When he gets hot, he can hang with anybody. But these Masters matches, they're just a round or two. Somebody catches a heat phase of form, and it's over with. So doors open here for Lance, but he needs to get a big score. Able to find a triple with that third one, so going to put a little bit of pressure on Miah here.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Miah to not be able to find those 20s for as long as he has. I think that on Wednesdays he calls me his slump. It's probably my fault, but we'll see how it goes, and then just like that, kind of finds the groove, settles in on the board. Also, the lights came on in the middle of this match all of a sudden, so it's a little bit of a different look from everything we've had all morning until now. So see these players settle in, we'll see some big scores.
Yeah, that was a bit distracting. I was watching another match and saw those lights kick on, and I'm like, oh, that is just awful timing.
Orders ready?
All right, so this is typical back and forth match that you're going to see at this Masters level. They're going to go a couple of points and trying to pick off a number. If I'm Lance, though, I definitely want to make that 20 go away, only needing a single to make it disappear. But he's going to have to buy himself some breathing room with a couple triples for some padding to be able to sacrifice a dart to go up there and close it. Taking a lead by 58, Miah's going to do the same thing, a couple of points, and one to probably close if he gets a lead.
Yeah, Lanson's in that interesting position where you have to find enough breathing room to take a look at, even if it is a single mark on those 20s. But at some point, you kind of want to put a tourniquet on the bleed too.
Yeah, doors open with just the triple. I mean, I would close the 20 here, and he goes to the 18. Interesting. I definitely would have went 20 there, only needing a single to make that number go away. If you weren't thrown at the 20, I wouldn't have moved off of the 17. That was interesting from Lance.
Yeah, Miah looking to punish here. First dart triple, second dart just on the wire. Looking down to close. Does hit the double. Gets rid of that 17, and that's kind of why you have to stay on those 17s, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're going to come off, I'd throw with the X and make the one number go away so he doesn't have two different numbers to score on. Lance is able to come back with 4, but still down by 12 points. Miah's definitely in the driver's seat here.
Miah does tend to like that bottom side of the board a little bit too. 15s, 16s are a little bit of a honeypot for him, and just like that, switches over those 16s, gets rid of them, picks up a bullseye, gives himself winning darts, likely on the next round, depending on what Lance can pick up on the 15s here.
Yeah, anything less than 2 triples, I can't see him moving off of it, and not able to find it with the first. So hunting for a triple, finds it with the third, does get the close. A small 3-point lead, but being down 2 numbers, he's going to need some help here from Miah to really have a legitimate look at this leg.
Back up for points. Nope, goes for the close and misses it on the wire. Kind of opens the door for Lance here a little bit. Really only needs 3 marks in the high ground numbers and finds a triple. Gives him that opportunity. First 2 darts. Closes that 20. Goes for the double on the 18 and wires it into the 1.
Yeah, that was a big moment there. He that was his one opening, and he knew he needed to take it.
Not his favorite number from what he tells me, but he does punish it on the 18s there. Puts in that first dart triple, takes another poke at the bullseye, and gets rid of those 15s all at once.
You know what? And that 18 pushed the bullseye by 1 point. So even if he went double-double, he would not have had a look at game shot. So nice job playing the board by Miah, protecting his number and securing this leg. Now only need 1 bullseye to win.
And I would think that both players here would say not their best leg of darts. We say that 3.58 on the Masters level is probably just about bottom of the barrel average for these guys.
Yeah, and this is something that you're going to, once you start playing at that level, you'll come to realize, like, those legs happen, but that's the baseline. Like, that's the minimum they're going to throw. So I wouldn't expect to win many legs with the 3.5, but you are going to see them. But really, to really be dominant control, you need to be in the mid 4s to 5s, really, to almost guarantee yourself a win. And even sometimes that's not enough. Yeah, back-to-back 7 marks from both players. Oops. Back-to-back 7s from both players, so pretty much standing pat. But Lance with the high ground here, he may take a swing. I would, and he is able to hit it. So again, another 7 mark from Lance. Big shot there, shutting down those 19s. I expect Miah to go with the 17s here, but we could be surprised.
Yeah, bottom of the board player, eyes go down, looking at those 17s. Bangs in the first one. I would expect to see at least 6, if not 7 here.
Yeah, you see a little bit of frustration from Miah. 5 mark, not the end of the world, but you know he's going to need a little more. A little bit of an eye roll as he's walking back, some frustration setting in. And same thing here with Lance, he knows, but nice job to save himself with that triple on the 3rd dart. It's going to keep Miah down there for probably all 3 darts and going to protect that 20 for him.
Miah does find 6. Does put the pressure on a little bit. Expect Lance to probably start up. Lance is a taller fellow too. The top of the board, kind of his friend. Just goes down to close, first start, trying to take those points away. And then the switch back to the 20s.
Yeah, but if you watch his throw, he doesn't take advantage of all the length that he's got. He only extends about halfway with his forearm, and it drives me nuts. I talk to him all the time about it, and he's not changing. So we'll deal with it, but we can all laugh together.
Don, I know you and I are both golfers, and I know you said Lance's throw drives you a bit crazy, but I think of it like Jim Furyk. You know, you swing your swing, and as long as your swing swings, why not swing it?
Yeah, I take nothing away from him. He's a great dart player, and he's really stepped it up over the last year and a half. So it's just something. I'm a very analytical person. I like to watch form and watch her throw, and when you know something's just not right, it just stands out to you. And same thing with Jim Furyk. Like, he would never teach someone that swing, but you'd never change his. So just one of those things. Yeah, it works for him, but it's not the prototypical action.
Wire, wire, wire. And that is frustrating darts, especially from a player like Miah. Kind of really opens the door for Lance to take full-on control of this leg. And then just like that, there's a 5.
Yeah, big 5 mark there. I mean, the biggest thing was closing the number and securing it, but if you can extend the point lead, that's all to the better as well. So now with 2 houses firmly in grasp, and really, Miah's running out of space here. He's going to need a big shot. He needs at least 7. He's going to need 7 to take the lead. So Needs a big shot. Not going to quite have enough. He should be able to secure this number. Does close it. So Lance really closed the 15, and whatever kind of work he do in the bullseye is his job done here at this point.
Bang in the first dart, switches to the bullseye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks from Lance. Really kind of takes this leg away from Miah. Going to put it to leg 3.
Yeah, one hole away on the double bullseye with both of those bullseye darts too. So Lance is feeling comfortable now. He's settled into the match. He's looking good. So this won't bother Miah too much either. Both legs have gone chalk. So whoever had the throws won the leg, which is what you typically see with an evenly matched opponent. So great shot from Lance. Thrown in a 4-4-4, much better than the 3-5 that we saw the game before. So this is the standard you kind of expect out of these guys. So this should be a really good match.
Luckily for both players, this is a race to 3 also. The level 1 and down, the levels, they are only race to 2, but these guys, they play quick enough, they play fast enough, they play well enough. They're going to move on to leg number 3. Maybe we'll get 5 out of this.
Yeah, it would not surprise me to see this go all the way. As long as Lance can stay comfortable, he's in a good spot. You see this getting to Miah a little bit. We're seeing some frustration out of him, and that's generally not a good sign. Most of these high-level players, you don't see a ton. You may see some positive emotion, but you rarely see much negative emotion because it's just a hindrance, and these guys have gotten to the point where they know that this just isn't going to help them. Lance coming in with a big 7 mark, taking the point lead, taking the top 2 numbers, and really trying to put a stranglehold on this leg.
And doing it against the throw. And, we just mentioned, Don, that we're chalk on holds of throw so far. The nice thing about this for Miah is even if this leg doesn't go his way, it is loser start. So he's only down 2-1, doesn't take advantage of winning the first leg, but does have the advantage of throw in leg number 4.
Yeah, you see the look for Miah after those three darts. So as a whole, yeah, you're right. If he loses this leg, it's not the end of the world. But Lance opening 7-7 and Miah only throwing a 1 mark on both. You gotta hope that this just mentally doesn't rattle Miah here. He's gonna have to keep his head in the game, try to make something out of this, if nothing else, just to get some confidence back, to get his stroke going for the start of next game. Because with Lance being at 4 houses and now only 7 points, but he's really in control of this one. So if Lance can get comfortable, Miah's gonna be in for a long day here.
Absolutely, and those corner pockets are a little bit of that honey hole for Miah. From what I've seen him play in the past, he loves those 15s, 16s. If he hits a hanger on those 15s, even trying to point almost like that, he might look over that 16 and just try to take it out.
Well, and you can see, too, the difference in the demeanor right now. Lance just wired 222, 222, 10, and threw a blank, and he was laughing and smiling as he went to the board. So you can see how each player's handling misses right now, and it's a completely different thing. And Lance might be feeling it a little bit here after a couple good rounds from Miah. So it's interesting to see how the match can swing back and forth one way each way.
And I think that one of the big differences at this level versus maybe some of the lower levels is you have guys like Miah who feel comfortable enough on those bottom corner pockets, whereas level 2, 3 guys, we may see that as something that is a detriment to our game. But they live there and they can battle there for a long time. They can really drag this match out.
Yeah, Lance going after the 15 on the first start, I don't know that I agree with it. That 20, 1 triple 20s were 4 15s, man. So at this point, I would just lean on those 20s and battle it out with them, and unless he just doesn't feel comfortable extending the game. But at this point, man, those 20s are worth so much more. Just lean on that big number and see what you can do there.
And just like that, with a little 4 mark, he puts himself outside of a 1 dart lead. Lance does find the first one and the second one, putting some pressure on. Big 9.
Yeah, massive shot there, and if nothing else, it'll settle his nerves if it was starting to get to him there a little bit. So he'll know he's in position now. A big shot would still re-pressure this, but Miah unable to find it. Lance needs to clean this up and just get on to the third leg.
Yeah, a little bit of a brick following the 9 there. I think that 9 just really put this leg out of reach, and Miah just moving on, focusing mentally on the next leg.
Solid 4 mark there from Lance, taking away the favorite 15 and getting 1 mark on the 16. So, yeah, Miah will try to get as many points as he can on the 16 before it goes away, but this should be gone after next round.
Miah needs a 9 of his own to get the point lead here. First dart was perfect. Second dart just kind of flighted and deflected in. Does find 7. Does get the point lead, but there's a lot of pressure. 4 houses. Can't do it with 3 darts, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, Lance shuts down the 16, which is exactly right. Goes to the bull. I probably would have got the point lead first because, I mean, you're in a good spot, and even a 9 mark doesn't give Miah the lead, but I sure would rather be fighting bullseyes against 1 number than against 4. So Miah is going to go bulls. And, you know, this is a credit to Miah with his stick-to-itiveness and his consistency to, even after a really rough start, be able to battle back on these points, and he's hanging in there. I mean, really, this is still in Lance's control. Double bull first start, but like the fact that he's able to just keep his head in it and stay with it is pretty impressive. Lance finishing with a 4-1-1, big shot, gonna go up 2-1.
Yep, 2-1. Toughest part about loser start format, though, is that Miah does get to go first. I would expect to see a few more than 1 marks here on Miah's opening 6 starts.
Yeah, and in the back half of that game, he really settled in, got comfortable, found his stroke again. So I expect him to stay on form the way he was, and true to what we were just saying, first 2 right in the center.
I'm going to say just a 6, but those first 2 darts were so good that I expected more than 6. And then Lance fouls with a triple of his own on the open and hits 5. So 6 plays 5, 60-38. See some big number battles here.
Yeah, this is a fun one to watch, guys.
Six, 5, 5 does put Miah up at least 5 marks. Gonna really put the pressure on Lance here. And true to pressure, pressure takes pressure, makes pressure. Pressure makes a diamond. What a 9.
Just an absolutely massive shot. So only a 12-point lead, but the big thing is he took the hammer away from Miah. He took the big number away, and sometimes you can see how a big shot like that can just rattle a player. Maybe it throws off his timing, maybe it increases pressure or whatever, but that 9 mark created this opening right now, and if Lance can take advantage, he could be shutting the door on this match.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes you go up with the plan. And then as you're walking to the line, Lance hits a 9 and it changes. Like the entire thing that you had sitting back behind the line, not watching, because a lot of these players don't watch what's going on the board. They react and they make a plan in their head. And then the entire plan had to change from the time he walked to the line to the time he sat.
Yeah, and I think these 2 players know each other's game as well, and I think everybody's pretty familiar with how much Miah does like the 17s. Lance wisely going down in the last round, taking that number away. Miah was able to find some 18s, though, so now they're still battling, but Lance has got the advantage of the 19s and the 17s, 2 kind of sister or brother numbers next to each other, that he's going to be pretty comfortable in the same sector of the board. Miah's going to have to come up with some big shots being down 2 numbers here.
And historically, he tells me that's not his favorite number. Why he switches to those 17s. We see a lot of really good players, guys even on the level of Ram Guevara, who will skip out on those 18s to own the 17s. And then a big 6 mark from Lance. Really putting the pressure on Miah to come up with 9 of his own.
Yeah, taking advantage of the bigger number and just keep leaning on him. Wait for another miss. Another miss comes, take his number away, and just keep marching down the board. So that's really what this is right now. This is just a game of pressure. And Lance has got 1 game to give up if he needs to. You know, you never want to give one up, but it's a whole different level of pressure for Miah because this is it for him. There's no second chances. He's got to win this one and the next one. Lance has got a little bit of breathing room, and he's got a 3-point lead and the bigger number plus another number behind it. So full opportunity here to try to take these 18s away. Is able to do so. So Lance firmly in the driver's seat. Only has a 3-point lead, but he's really looking good on the scoreboard.
And I really like what Lance did with the hanger kind of on the wire above the 18s. He didn't try to force it into the triple so that he could move on. He took his singles and is going to force Miah to those corner numbers again, which we've seen in the last leg. He can battle on, but he's going to need some big shots.
And here's the thing, at this level, you're expecting these guys to hit a triple plus every round. You see some frustration there coming from Miah, but with only having a 3-point lead, Lance probably expected to come to the board behind in points, which he is, and did not take the point lead. I know he threw at it with the third one. I would have liked to have seen him go out with the first or the second one, but now Miah, if he can pull out a 5 mark here, or an 8 would be massive. Chooses not to even look. So staying on the 15s, did take a look at the 19, but wasn't able to connect. So up by 28, but Lance has got 3 clear here. He needs to get a big point lead.
Yeah, I just seeing how Lance has played the rest of this leg, I'd expect him to probably stay, and just never mind. I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. Big shot, Lance Trout.
Yeah, and this could be that could be a respect shot really from Lance, just not wanting to leave him a triple to score on because he's been scoring so heavily on those corners once he got the lead, and that's probably why he went for the 15 after he closed the 16. And it's just a respect shot, knowing that Miah's been drilling those corner numbers so heavy, just trying to make them go away, and he'll try to get his points later.
And he did exactly that. First start at the bullseye, I would assume he probably moves back to points here. He hung out, he stayed. Miah can put a little bit more pressure on this next shot with 5 or 6 bulls.
Yeah, maybe some adrenaline going right now. Lance might be getting a little excited. I know this is a big match for him, and this is one of his first events playing master singles, so he's kind of stepping it up into a new level, kind of the same way I am this event too. So there may be some adrenaline with some anticipation of success. Those first 2 darts were a little high. Was able to find it with the third one. But coming up now, just needs 2 bullseyes. Only has a 29-point lead, though, so he needs to be cognizant of that. Finds the first one. Does he go for the game shot? Sure does, and hits it. Great shot from Lance, throwing 3 games over a 4 to take the match. You see Miah a little frustrated. He knows the standard's a little higher than that, but Lance will take that win, and he's going to be skating off to the next round, and he'll take that every chance he gets.
Yeah, Miah definitely not pleased with his performance there. Never really found the groove until late in the leg, and then by the time he found the groove, Lance had already put the screw down.
Yeah, Lance was all over those triple 19s, and all right, guys, hang around. We'll have another match coming up here shortly. Lots of fun here at the Motor City Michigan Regional Tournament.